I have a cat. I don't know if we have any cat people here tonight. Let's make some noise, cat. Yeah. Oh, once again, the energy that brings to the room is incredible. Couple people excited. The rest of you are like, we've got one, but I don't even know how we got it. I know. I don't know if I seem like a cat guy. Please do not answer that. But here's what happened with me. A kitten, it's a baby version of a cat, crawled into my backyard from the alley, and its leg was all messed up and dangling down. So anyone would do in that situation, probably. I called another comedian. I'm like, would this be good for my act? He's like, yeah, you need something at the 12-minute mark. So I'm like, all right, that's done deal. No, that's not really what happened, but kind of. I thought this is what I'd do. I would take it to the vet, and I'd drop it off, and I would leave. And that would be the end of it, because I travel too much. I don't have time for a cat. I don't want a cat. But they wouldn't let me do that. They first were like, is this your cat? I'm like, no. Do I seem like a cat guy? Anyway, so they're like, well, if it's not your cat, you can't leave it here. You actually have to take it somewhere else. And because it's injured, they're probably going to take care of it, is what they said, which was a tough spot to be in, because people in line behind me heard that. And right, so now I'm stuck. I can't walk away from the counter now and go by everybody and go, well, I've made my decision. I'm like, okay, what do I have to do? And they said, well, just give us your credit card. And then that was it. And they're like, congrats, you have a cat. We'll call you tomorrow and let you know how much it costs to fix your cat. And I said, well, how much could it cost? Because I had no idea. And the lady literally said to me, oh, you won't pay more than $1,000. And I said, you are exactly right. I for sure am not going to pay $1,000 to fix a cat. I have known a half hour. That's not going to happen. Now, I was wrong about that, but initially, I felt like I stood my ground. They call me the next day. They go, your cat's leg is messed up. I go, wow, you guys are good. Glad I brought it to you. We're going to have to amputate her leg, and she doesn't use it, so she's not even going to notice. And I said, that is hard to believe. I have a room in my house I don't use that often, but I feel like I would notice if it was just cut out and gone one day. And then I asked a question apparently you're not allowed to ask. I said, well, do I get to keep that leg still? And I know, it sounds terrible now. But let me just say this. I brought in a full cat. And now, for somewhere around $1,000, I'm leaving with 3/4 of a cat. So, I'm just gonna do a quick math in my head. So unless you're knocking $250 off the price, I would like all the pieces back. And not like I had a ton of ideas I'm gonna do with a tiny cat leg, but it had been a day. So, I started thinking about that. I'm like, well, that could be like a tiny scratcher, with a tough to reach spot. Put it on a keychain. That's my lucky cat foot. Could be a stamp for good work or something. But I did not get to keep the leg. And neither did my cat. And so I took my 3-legged cat home, and you would think, well, first of all, so now she's got like 7.25 lives. I don't know. I haven't done the math, but you would think a cat with only one front paw, she could not do a lot of damage, but you'd be incorrect. She destroyed so much of my house. All the leather, totally ruined. The couch, the chair, the chaps I like to wear on Tuesdays. And yeah, the crotch is already gone, but it's the sides. She just really scratched up the sides. Oh, I had so many problems with my cat. And people kept giving me advice. They gave me the same advice, the same terrible advice. They say, well, maybe you should get a second cat. No, that's a terrible idea. If someone's having marital problems, you go, have you thought about getting a second wife? Have you thought about that? Because maybe they'll tire each other out by the time you get home. No, that's not how that's going to work at all. You have just doubled my problems. But Anyway, my cat's doing great. Her name is Lucille. Lucille minus one wheel, and she's doing fantastic.